Hi everyone, so January is the month of resolutions and change, and we were having a chat the other day and thought of some, not quite resolutions, but changes that we think Disney should maybe consider for 2017. These are some things that we think that they could do maybe a little bit better or a little bit differently, and they're not huge, but we think they'd actually make quite a big impact as a guest.
So the first thing that I think Disney need to tweak slightly is their merchandise. Now they're doing a lot better at this recently, like the last couple of years, they're getting better, but I wouldn't say they're quite there yet. There are a few attractions where you get merchandise themed, like the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean have like a little bit, but not a huge amount. But like I'd love to see more varied merchandise, because if you go into one of the main big shops, if you've seen it once, you know that is what keeps coming around and around. The same mugs, the same t-shirts, the same... What else they sell that I forgot?
Pens and notebooks, kind of the standard Disney designs that if you go on holiday for any length of time, you'll be seeing the entire time that you're there. These are the kind of things that you'll see once and you'll be like, I do not have to pick this up now because I know for a fact I can get this wherever Disney is selling merchandise. And while that's really useful in terms of convenience, we think it's a bit of a shame that sometimes Disney aren't playing to their strengths and producing really good quality merchandise for these really unique and individual attractions. I think some of the places that do it really well are the Haunted Mansion shop. I think that's a great example of more of the stuff that we'd like to see, where you'll see maybe some Haunted Mansion merchandise around in the other parts of the park. But if you want to go for some of the really unique stuff, they've got it all right there and it's all really well themed to the attraction.
But on that same note, like don't throw that same Haunted Mansion merchandise into every shop, because it's nice that it's there, but then there was a lot of it I found everywhere and I was like, just keep it where it was, keep it where it's meant to be, in the good places. But then if you're gonna do that, another point I'd like to bring up, make it good quality merchandise. There was so much tat when we went there last time, like so many inconsistencies, so many things looked really cheap, like, and it's not cheap to buy, but
no, it isn't.
It's just like, I mean, come on now.
One of the examples of this is actually in the Pirates of the Caribbean shop, I don't know if you've seen it, there's a skull and crossbones type hourglass with sort of skulls on the points of the hourglass and there's sand in the middle, like hourglasses have. But it looked really, really cool, and I bought one year and I thought that was great. I've since seen them on Amazon and like, not even talking similar, I'm talking like pretty much the exact same design. They're clearly things that Disney haven't made themselves. They've just pulled in from some producer and supplier, and they're just selling in the the Pirates of the Caribbean shop at a very high markup, but isn't actually unique merchandise that's unique to Disney. It's something that you can just sort of find online as any sort of seller is carrying, and I think that kind of thing is a bit of a shame.
And to improve this even more. Now, I can see the pros and the cons to my next point. It's mix it up a bit. The pros of that are if you have seen something on your last trip and you weren't able to get it, or you see it in someone's haul videos or things like that, you know you're probably quite likely to see it the next time you go and be able to get it. The con of that is you'll probably see it the next time as well and be able to do that, and it's just the same things. Like there's things that I bought in 2010 or even earlier that are still there, exactly the same. I'm like, come on now. Like I hear so many times people going, I didn't really buy that much because it was all the same as there was last year. I was like, well, you know, there's the stuff that's like 2016, 2017, but I would like to see a bit more of an update constantly with the merchandise. If they can release 2 Tsum Tsum sets a month, which are completely different,
yeah,
you can mix up your theme park merchandise a little bit.
Now, one of the next things that we would love to see Disney work on in 2017 is the educational content of Epcot. Now, that's going to make me sound really, really boring, like some kind of nerd, which I definitely am. But the problem I see with Epcot right now is that apart from the World Showcase, which is pretty good at trying to educate people about different cultures, the rest of Future World and that kind of area has drastically cut back on its sort of informative and educational provision. And I think it's a bit of a shame that one of the best educational rides in Epcot is Ellen's Energy Adventure that no one rides anymore because it's rarely open, and when it is, people just don't want to do it. And I think that that's a huge shame and isn't what Epcot should be standing for. I think Epcot should really be pushing technology, actual sort of upcoming advances instead of, hey, look at this idea of the future that someone came up with 6 years ago that's now completely out of date, and should be pushing advances in education the same way that Animal Kingdom pushes conservation. It really needs to be a core message for that park, and I think with the closure of Interventions, they've got a really good opportunity to do something incredible with that and bring some more educational content into the park.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the rides they've opened in the last few years, like a long time, like maybe last decade, it's Test Track, which is...
Test Track started great. It had a really good kind of like, this is how we test cars message. And then when testing cars went to kind of computerized tests, they went, okay, let's update the ride and ditch all of the informativeness about it. Let's just make it look really cool and ditch every single bit where you learn something from that ride. And I think that's a huge loss to the park.
There's Soaring, which is now Soaring Around the World, which I can suppose is slightly informative.
Kind of, yeah. But it's, hey, look at this cool ride we built. Not, hey, learn some really cool stuff.
Mission Space.
Doesn't teach you anything about actual spaceflight. It teaches you about hypothetical spaceflight to Mars, which is cool, and it involves the future, and it's looking ahead. Mars is definitely somewhere where we want to go. But it's not real, and it's not grounded enough for me, I think, which is a bit of a shame.
Makes me feel really sick.
It does make you feel really sick when you get older.
And, I mean... what else is there really, apart from our Spaceship Earth, obviously?
I like Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth is fantastic and a very Epcot attraction. If they ever change it, I'll be devastated. I
mean, there's a few other ones. Obviously, there's like Living with the Land, which I love. But then you've also got like, there are a few. I wouldn't necessarily say Nemo and Friends is educational, but the end bit is. But I'd say that's an aquarium. I wouldn't necessarily say that's part of the ride. But I see what you mean. We need a lot more. I mean, like what Horizons was, where it had the, like, when you used to shrink down and go into the splinter.
The bodywork stuff.
And learning, like, I learned from that as a child that your body naturally pushes out things like splinters. And that was from being shrunk down and gone and attached myself to a splinter so the body rejects you out. Of course, that isn't, like, what would really happen, but there's an educational message behind it, and I learned something. And I don't feel I learn as much anymore.
That's, the big one for me is I think that they have, with Interventions closing, they have a really, really big opportunity, and I hope a big sponsor comes along and makes a fantastic showcase of everything that is up and coming, but actually up and coming, and that they keep it updated. That's what I really hope for Epcot, is that the new innovation space becomes regularly updated with real current stuff, because that's kind of my kind of bugbear with Epcot at the moment, is that some of the stuff is gradually sort of drifting into the present, and that's not really what I feel the park should be.
Get a good Japanese company in there. Get a good Japanese company in there who are like just pushing robotics, and just get them to showcase some like of their old test stuff, because that still would be so advanced for us. Even though like, oh, we did this like 5 years ago, it's like out the back, and we'd be like, what is that? It's amazing, it's the future. So do that. Contact Japan.
Now, if you remember our 24-hour day vlog that we did in Florida, I've already complained about this before, and my issue with Space Mountain currently is the lighting levels in Space Mountain. Whenever we've been, it always seems to be a different level of bright, which sounds like a really, really weird complaint, but I'll try and explain it as best as I can. They've got a very sort of dark attraction going on in there. Like, it's supposed to be incredibly pitch black, lit by the sort of star effects that they've got going on. The past few times we've gone, it's either been pitch black, moderately dark but you can still see stuff, or someone's left a light on somewhere and I can see everything that's going on. And that definitely spoils the attraction for me. Now, I'm not the biggest spaceman. I'm not the biggest spaceman. Now, I'm not the biggest Space Mountain fan anyway, because I find the whole sort of dark atmosphere creepy.
Love it.
But I actually think it's worse with the lights slightly on, because you can see all the supports, and that makes it so much worse for me. Like, just being able to see how close they are to the track, that's not good. If I'm going to ride Space Mountain, I want it to be nice and pitch black, and I can just pretend that everything's miles away.
I mean, I've done it with the lights on, not on purpose.
That would terrify me.
Something happened, and as we were going around, the lights came on, and we were like, oh, okay, this is weird, because you can see all the tracks, and there's two cars, and they kind of mirror each other sort of thing. But I don't mind it. I really like Space Mountain, and I don't really notice. But then I'm really like, my perception of darkness is way off, because...
But even you did say that you noticed it on like the last few times that we've gone, and that it's been brighter.
I don't know if it has been brighter or we've just got older and our eyes have seen it better, but
why would our night vision get better as we get older?
I've eaten more carrots now than I did as a kid. So.
That's totally a thing.
But yeah, I get what you mean. I still really like it. So like, I mean, as long as I don't change too much of it, as long as I don't turn the lights on, I'm happy. But if you would like it a little bit darker, we can add this to the list to be a little bit darker, please.
That would be nice. I would like to see that.
That's quite a nice, easy fix for them.
Yeah, I mean, we can't throw out all these big sort of like rehaul Epcot suggestions and not give them any nice, easy ones like turn off that light that someone definitely left on in Space Mountain.
Yeah. So the final thing that we think Disney could improve going in 2017 and even 2018, like, you can have your time, Disney, if you need it, just do it. Sort out night times at Magic Kingdom. Like, I'm going to throw this out there, and I know a lot of people are going to be really mad. Wishes is, like, it's good, but it was good like 10 years ago or whenever Wishes came out. Like, I have seen Wishes so many times that I can quote most of the dialogue in Wishes, and we only go every couple of years. My favourite bit is, though, just when they at the very end where they scream, "Wishes!"
Yeah, you always shout wishes at me.
But seriously, though, I actually much preferred, what was the one I said? Was it Summer Night-tastic?
Summer Night-tastic.
Which happened in the summer of 2010, and that was really good. There were pirates in it. They shot cannons out of the castle. It was really good, and I'm just kind of bored of Wishes. Like, Jiminy Cricket's going to make everyone all emotional, and like the fairies are going to come and do their thing, and then there's going to see a love heart and a smiley face. I do like the smiley faces, other than that.
Yeah, okay.
And the love hearts, and I'm just kind of like, you know, I know it's like people's favourites, but I wish they would just mix it up for a little bit. No, just get rid of it and change it. And also, like, put something. I want a nighttime parade, damn it. You're just ruining everything. The nighttime parades are my favourite. I'm not a massive fan of Festival of Fantasy. I love the Main Street Electrical Parade, and I'll even go as far as say I like Spectrum Magic.
Spectrum Magic was fine.
But there's nothing now. Nothing!
I think it was a really, really big mistake to announce the end of Main Street Electrical Parade. To announce the end of Main Street Electrical
Can you
Parade.
start that whole thing again? I think it was big.
I think it was a real shame that they announced the end of Main Street Electrical Parade with no plans to replace it. And that's kind of been the word from Disney as far as we've seen up until now, is that there isn't a, don't worry, something's coming. It's a, there are no plans. And I think Magic Kingdom without a nighttime lit up parade is just, it feels a bit empty. I think that's a huge shame. And I don't understand why that decision was made. I think that they should have had something that they can say, look, we know you love Main Street Electrical Parade. It's getting on a bit. I mean, it is very, very old, that parade.
Yeah, they brought it back. It was like vintage and they brought it back.
So, you know, it was time for a change, but it was time for a change, not this is gone and we're not doing anything to replace it. I really hope that this year they announce something incredible for Magic Kingdom Nighttime.
I know they were looking to maybe put Paint the Night on there for a little while, but that never happened. So.
That was a rumour that everyone was talking about, but I don't know if it ever got any substance, and I don't know if that was ever seriously considered by Disney. I think that was one of the things that they came out to say, that we're not doing this, don't get your hopes up, which is a real shame, because again, just put something there, put a nice nighttime parade.
I think this is like advice for Disney, or like lessons for life for them, I feel. Because they've done this quite a lot recently, and this is going to be maybe a bonus things we'd like to see Disney do better. Like, not having such a void of dead space between things. So, like, there's this parade. There's, okay, I know everyone hated the Jungle Book thing, but the Jungle Book to Rivers of Light, let's just go Hollywood Studios as a whole.
I mean,
like,
I get it, there's content coming, but there's nothing right now.
And it's just like, you know what, like, just maybe do something in the interim to make people, I don't know, it's weird to me that they're just...
It feels like the parks have lost a lot more than they've gained at the rate that they're going recently, and that things are getting cancelled or stopped, but nothing's being brought in to replace them, so it feels like we're kind of slipping back and just losing the content as a whole. I mean, I'm all for change. Like, changes, there's not that much wrong with change. Disney could do a lot of changes, and that's gonna be all right. And start that sentence again. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with change, and I think that Disney have some great opportunities to make big changes to their parks and do some really awesome things. But it's when it's stuff going away with no changes in sight or nothing being brought in, even temporarily, to replace it. Like Hollywood Studios, they could have done something in that park, even just temporarily, to make up for just the huge lack of content where everything's being closed right now.
I mean, just look at Universal. They're just bashing out rides, and a new theme park and new hotels are constantly going up. Like, they're setting the standard of how things should be done quickly, and how, you know, they're constantly not going, oh, you know, we've got this going up, but it's going to take, like, God, how long has Avatar Land taken? Like 10 years?
It's a long time.
Not so, maybe not 10 years, but
feels like it.
6 maybe. I honestly can't remember, but it's like I'm bored. Like, I just want it to be open now. The hype for it is gone. But in that time, we've had King Kong open. We've had the expansion of the Harry Potter parks open. They've pretty much done a water park.
Yep.
They've had another hotel go up. They're doing Jimmy Fallon, which is meant to open the next couple of months. They're doing the Fast and the Furious ride. I feel they've done other things as well, but it's just like, come on now, like, Disney we're making Avatar Land. Well, Universal's done like 20 things in the time it's taken you to do Avatar Land and build a car park. Like, what is going on? So maybe our overall bit of advice to Disney and things we would like to see in the future is listen to your fans and hurry up.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
And if you're going to close something for a long time, bring in something, almost anything, to at least sort of entertain people while that's down. Like, it doesn't have to be on the same scale. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just bring something in to replace all of that content and attraction that you're removing.
And I want the soundtrack to the Main Street Electrical Parade as compensation for the stress that has been caused by this list, because I just need the do. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to hear that again.
Oh.
We'll just I'll just take what they called the boxes that people used
a
to
boombox.
I'll take a boombox and just have it playing around Magic Kingdom and be like, I'll just dress in lights and I'll be like, yeah, bring it in.
I'm a parade.
I'm a parade. They won't escort me out the park.
They
I'm
definitely
a parade. So yeah, I mean, these are just some of the things that we've kind of had a little chat about, and we would like to see Disney basically improve next year, because, you know, it's all about new beginnings, resolutions, making things better. So let us know what you think Disney should improve,
or what you'd like to see from Disney in 2017.
So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and why not subscribe to our channel? You can also check out one of our other videos that should be on screen right about now.